Medicine, a
medicine,
substance, especially in the form of a liquid or pill, that is a treatment for illness or injury. I've got a fever, so I need to take some medicine. Examine,
examine,
to look at, or consider a person, or think carefully and in detail in order to discover something about them. The research examined the effect of alcohol on long-term memory. Vomit.
vomit,
The contents of your stomach has come up through your mouth. He's been vomiting all night after drinking too much alcohol. Terrible,
terrible,
very unpleasant or serious or bad. My mom was a terrible cook. Get rid of something or somebody. To remove something that you don't want any longer, or to find
get
a
rid
way
of
to
something
make
or
someone
somebody.
leave because you do not want the person to be with you anymore. We finally got rid of my little sister by telling her scary stories. Walk out of something.
Walk out of
To
something,
leave an event such as a meeting or a performance because you're unhappy, angry, or disapprove of something. All the parents walked out of the meeting. On-call room.
on call room,
If a worker, such as a doctor, is in the on-call room, he or she is available to work or make official visit at any time when needed. She is a doctor, so she often works overtime in the on-call room at the weekend. Situation.
situation,
The set of things that are happening and the condition that exist at a particular time and place. My sister has a good situation as a teacher in the local school. Something feels terrible because of the seafood.
something feels terrible because of seafood.
He vomits many times.
He vomits many times.
He wanted to get rid of the situation, so he called the nurses.
He wants to get rid of the situation, so he calls the nurse.
Unfortunately, no one replied to him.
Unfortunately, no one replies to him.
Something decides to walk out of the sick room and find a doctor.
Something decides to walk out of sick room and finds doctor.
He makes his way to the on-call room, but there is no one there.
He makes his way to the on-call room, but there's no one there.
He goes back to his sick room.
He goes back to his sick
Luckily,
room.
he sees a girl with long black hair.
Luckily, he sees a girl with long black hair.
He looks at her and says, "Oh, nurse! Nurse, help me."
He looks at her and says, "Oh, no, no, help me."
The nurse takes him into the room for a checkup.
The nurse takes him into the room for a checkup.
She says, "You can't eat seafood anymore.
She says, "You can't eat seafood anymore.
You should eat white rice now."
You should eat white right now."
Something eats 10 bowls of rice and takes medicine.
Something eats 10 balls of right now and takes medicine.
His stomach then gets better.
His stomach gets better.
He sleeps and dreams about Minghong.
He sleeps and dreams about Mina.
Something has felt terrible because of the seafood. Has something felt terrible because of the seafood?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Has something felt excited because of the seafood?
No, he didn't.
Why has something felt terrible?
Uh, Something terrible because of seafood.
How has something felt?
Something feels terrible.
Who has felt terrible?
Something.
He has vomited many times. Has he vomited many times?
Yes, he did.
Has he played games many times?
No, no, he had.
Has Mingwon vomited many times?
No, she had. No, she hasn't.
Who has vomited many times?
Something.
He wanted to get rid of the situation, so he called the nurses. Has he wanted to get rid of the situation?
Yes, he had.
Has he called the teacher?
No, no, he hadn't. Had not, hasn't. Had not, hasn't.
Has he wanted to enjoy this situation?
No, he hasn't.
What has he wanted to do?
He want to get rid of situation.
Who wanted to get rid of this situation?
Something want to get rid of this situation.
Who has called the teacher?
No, he hasn't.
Who has called the nurses?
Something.
Unfortunately, no one has replied him. Has anyone replied him? Have many people replied to him?
No one replied to him.
Has anyone replied to Mingmo?
No,
Who has replied to him?
no one.
Something has decided to walk out of the sick room and find a doctor. Has something decided to walk out of the sick room and find a doctor?
Yes, he had.
Has something decided to walk out of the sick room and find a police?
No, he hasn't.
Does something decide to go to bed?
No, she hasn't.
What has something decide to do?
Something decided to walk out of sick room and find doctor.
Where has something walked out of?
Something walked out of the sick room.
He has made his way to the on-call room, but there has been no one there. Has he made his way to the on-call room?
Yes, he had.
Has he made his way to the bathroom?
No, he hasn't.